Those who may have forgotten because it has been a while since season 2, and no doubt a Raising Kanan update is actually long overdue. But Marvin was also involved in the death of Marco Baselli, Sal and Teresa's son. He sent him on a mission to kill Tony Deep, which went wrong, and that ended in the death of Marco. We then saw them at the christening of his son, when Marvin put another dagger through the hearts of the Baselli family, this time killing Sal on the orders of Stefano Marchetti. But as we learned in episode 10 in season 4, Phil Russo was also behind the removal of Sal, because he wanted his position in New Jersey. So we actually learned towards the end of season 4, episode 10, Stefano Marchetti and Phil Russo actually conspired together to get rid of Teresa's husband. We then saw her briefly in season 4 when Unique went to play Teresa Rovisit, who was still grieving the loss of her family. And this is someone who's lost her entire world at no fault of her own. She was still reeling from the loss of her husband and her son, basically at the hands of the Thomases. That's who she blames, along with Phil Russo. At this moment in time, she doesn't know that Phil Russo and Stefano Marchetti were behind the orders to kill Sal, although she was beginning to get very tired of the fact Phil Russo wasn't doing anything about it. But there has been a common theme in the world of Raising Kanan: blame Rock. Whether she's the cause of issues or not, it always seems to be as if everybody always wants to blame Rock. We know she's far from innocent, definitely far from innocent, but as of late, especially in season 4, she's definitely not the one to blame for a lot of the things that's been going on in the world of Raising Kanan. But I guess it's the story of the boy who cried wolf, and definitely her past catching up. Now, we don't know what role she'll play, if any, in Raising Kanan season 5. Judging by her last conversation with Unique in episode 10, she's sick and tired of Phil Russo not doing anything about Sal Baselli's death. So it does look like she potentially may have something to say and do in season 5, but it does look as if these wounds have cut deep and these scars still haven't healed in terms of her past with Rock and the Thomases by the time we get to Power Origins. A past in history that seems to have followed Kanan into Power Origins in the early 2000s. She's going to be back to cause chaos for Kanan and his operations in season 1, and I'm actually expecting to see more of a stern, a colder Teresa rather than the fragile, heartbroken character that we now see in Raising Kanan. Death can often change people, and we've seen how death can change characters in the world of power. And with what she's been through, with the family that she's lost, her husband and her son, with the family that she has in terms of the Italian crime family, the Italian connection, she is someone who does seem like she could be a problem and a threat in the future. Someone who probably wants to cause chaos and problems for the family that caused her problems in Raising Kanan, and Kanan does seem to be the one in her sights. Now, they have mentioned her history with Rock, so that's the history, but whether there's anything more in season 5, whether they butt heads and clash in Raising Kanan season 5, and whether there's a story or a plot that keeps her around wanting revenge, I'm sure there will be. They did give us a hint towards the end of season 4 in episode 10 in conversation with Unique, and I'm sure she definitely will feature in season 5 as well. So just like the returning Tremont Stinson, we can now add Teresa Baselli to the list of characters who will be crossing over into Power Origins from the world of Raising Kanan. But moving over to a couple of new detectives and law enforcement.